Everything we've done's led up to right now. Right now. This legacy are full of legends. You can become a legend today, boys. Put your stamp on history. Put your stamp on a legacy. It is going to take all of us. All of us. Men, be not afraid. Do not be afraid to be a legend.
Welcome to OPA Podcast, Episode 12, Season 2, Episode 3 of this podcast. And I'm one of your hosts, Jason O.
It's Larranz.
And Griffin.
And our fourth host, Wyatt, isn't here. He has some reading and moving stuff today for school. Hashtag law school. So we wish him the best, but we'll talk about some things that he wanted to mention in the podcast. But today we are previewing Game 2 for the Minnesota Golden Gophers versus the Fresno State Bulldogs, coming up on September the 7th.
Oof.
So what are your guys' takes from the Fresno State USC game that happened 2 days ago?
How do you think the game would play out if their quarterback doesn't go down? That's what I like to think about.
Yeah, JT Daniels was slinging it. That was very Mike Leach-esque.
Oh,
It
now we're
was.
talking about Mike Leach. I'd like to hear this.
I don't know. I wasn't particularly impressed either way. But then again, USC was just a 5-7 team last year. So, do I care that much? But on the same token, I found this out while watching their game. Apparently, you all saw the Purdue-Nevada game, how Purdue gave up a 17-point lead. Apparently, USC did that 4 times last year.
Oof.
Like losing to a field goal?
Like, having a double-digit lead and then losing 4 times last year. So I'm like, oh, USC, you were probably a lot better than we think you were last year, weren't you?
So some key stats. Their quarterback, Jorge Reyna, was their leading passer and rusher. And Larranz, off the air, you mentioned he's more of a better runner than he is passer than their pass quarterback, McMarion, from last year.
Yeah, it just seemed, watching, and to be fair, it was his first FBS game. So, like, for what he was walking into, I think he did a pretty good job. He did about as good of a job against USC as Jabari Gibbs did against us.
And if it's anything like last week, we're going to run into trouble if he starts running.
Exactly.
But I know Rossi's got some QB contain up his sleeves. So
Please do.
Please.
make him scramble and throw another pick six to Chris Williamson. That would be elite.
Or Jordan Howden.
Nah, Jordan just tackles. He ain't there for interceptions. He wants to kill people.
You know what? I missed that. That's that. Well, never mind. I'm not gonna say his name, but it was a certain other coach's mentality that we used to have, where they killed people. That was their only goal. It was therapy on the field. I missed that.
But Fresno State battled back because they were down 18 points going into the fourth quarter. So now that we're going to Fresno, as long as we can, play safe, sound, don't go over the top offense and just play safe and sound defense. We should pull out another close one. with the help of our man Antoine Winfield Jr.
You just assume it's going to end the same way, huh?
I'm glad you got the cue, Jason, because that man will suck up anything in the vicinity, and it's unreal.
Well, hopefully this time he doesn't jump. He doesn't jump.
Wolfda.
Because this quarterback will do the exact same thing Jabari Gibbs did if he jumps. Run for 15 more yards.
The one thing I want to see is hopefully Rashad Cheney suits up for this game and starts playing because we need defensive line help. Fresno State's left guard seems to be demolishing people like Falele did to a Georgia Tech's defense on the Quick Lane Bowl.
That's offensive.
So if we can, hit him in the backfield, and Winston, Carter, Kamal should be back.
We'll get Carter back too. He was out the second half.
Yep, we'll get Carter back. We will destroy their run game and make them turn it into a passing game.
I'm not that confident. Is there any news on what exactly happened to Rashad Cheney?
No.
Well,
it was just Fleck's decision not to have him suit up.
Oh, okay. So it was a game time decision.
Yes.
Okay, so there's a chance. There's a shot. All right.
Yep.
Yes, good. Okay, because our defensive line was on 100% struggle, and my mental health cannot afford to watch that struggle again.
So is your foreseeable starting lineup for that D line is D ends? Yeah, Winston De La Lebedier and Carter Coughlin, and interior Micah Treadway and Rashad Cheney.
I mean, I don't think Rashad Cheney necessarily has to start and get a bulk of the snaps, but if you kind of keep him fresh with the Seizi Otomwe, I think that would be more beneficial at the moment.
Sometimes I forget how necessary Carter Coughlin is, and then I rewatch the South Dakota State game, and I realize the complete and utter difference when he was on the field and when he wasn't on the field. Because when he was on the field, even though he didn't necessarily hit Jabari was never comfortable in that pocket so long as Carter Coughlin was on the field, because you knew at some point he was coming. But as soon as he was gone, it was just, someone might get to him. But when Carter Coughlin was on the field, you knew eventually someone would get to him. So I need the confidence to know that someone's coming after Jorge Reyna.
I mean, if we do some safety blitzes as well and Antoine doesn't jump, that should also be
that would be nice.
Huge factor. But I'm more interested to see what we do on offense because our leading rusher last year against Fresno State was Bryce Williams.
True.
Sometimes it makes me think wow, what would that game have been like if Rodney wasn't down, if Shannon wasn't down, if Muhammad wasn't down? It really makes me wonder what that game would have been like.
And this year's so different with McMarion and Johnson gone, but you have a good amount of their defense back. But now we also have Tanner Morgan, Rashad Bateman was just as lethal, and having Rodney and Mo. So we'll see, because these are two completely different teams in my opinion, even though they didn't lose too much.
So for this game then, what are your, at least one from each of us? I think Larranz will give the bulk of it, but what is your keys to the game to win it?
Turnovers. turnover battle.
They did have ball security problems.
Yeah,
Oh,
Reyna, especially.
yeah.
So,
But it was his first game.
Yeah.
So win the turnover battle. I think for me, the offensive line needs to be better so we can do better in the run blocking and pass blocking. SSU was woofda.
I mean, this isn't the answer, but you could also maybe just have quicker throws and getting rid of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
That's not necessarily the answer, but that's definitely a part of it. But I just think winning the turnover battles, because any turnover you have to turn into points, and the last game we scored, I believe it was 15 points off 2 turnovers. So,
Yeah.
and that literally put us past the Jackrabbits. So you're in an away stadium. You're still against a very solid Mountain West team. You're playing a 9:30 game. Like, that's crazy. So
Good. Especially this past weekend. They've been putting in work. Wyoming out here beating Missouri. Nevada obviously beating Purdue. Hawaii beating who they beat? Hawaii beat Arizona. Things of that general nature. Oh, there's a lot that the Mountain West did that was pretty impressive. Boise State beating Florida State, even though Florida State is a burning trash fire at the moment, but still, being able to beat them is still something that I feel is pretty impressive, especially at Florida State. Anyway, my key to this game is pretty simple, but it's very philosophical as well. Treat this game like you're going to treat the very angry, pissed off Wisconsin team that's going to be coming to TCF Bank. Why do I say that? Because this Fresno State team lost 2 games last year. One of the games they lost, they got to avenge in the Mountain West Championship game where they got to beat Boise State. The only game that they did not get their revenge tour, so to speak, was us. That defensive line especially is going to be very pissed off when they play us. So I need to treat this game like you would Wisconsin when they show up to TCF at the end of the year. Because if you don't, I think they're going to beat the crap out of us.
But they also have to remember that coming at them is the tank / runaway locomotive, Mohammed Ibrahim.
I mean,
they will not experience it. Ask Georgia
Tech.
Tech how they felt after he hit all of them.
I asked South Dakota. They said who? I asked South Dakota. They said who? They said this is cold country in South Dakota. We don't do no Ibrahim. But I don't know. If you disrespect this opponent, if you look ahead in any way, we will get Purdue'd. I don't want to get Purdue'd, but I can very much see us getting Purdue'd.
Actually, that was sarcasm. I hate your pessimistic views sometimes. But I know that's you.
I'll wait till you hear these picks. All right. But I do say Tyler Johnson bounce back game over 100 yards receiving. Rodney and Muhammad combined for around 160 rushing in whatever fashion. I don't care.
No, I see Seth Green coming back playing this game. 2 touchdowns if he plays, and about at least another 30 yards on the ground like he did last time.
Are we actually gonna put him in?
I hope so.
Kirk. I'm like, if I see one more halfback draw in this game after the first 2 quarters where it doesn't
Because
work.
didn't he throw a touchdown in the
Yeah.
Fresno State game last year?
No, he threw the 2-point conversion in that game where, like, literally everyone said, all the announcers kept saying, at some point he's got to throw, and then he didn't, and then he did. So he can throw a touchdown. That'll be great. The moment he shows up, they're going to load the box because they have to because he's big. So, I don't know.
But then he'll see Bateman flying down the sideline behind
No.
the DB.
No. Where is Brevin Spanford? I need that man to show up.
Brevin,
Where he at? Why was
it's just Jake Paulson for now, man.
Where was Brevin Spanford in this game?
We are hiding our weapons, Larranz. We do not want to bring out our entire arsenal.
We cannot afford to hide this weapon. This game, I would argue, is going to be harder than Purdue. This game, I don't know. I'm actually low-key a little scared of Illinois. Not gonna lie.
Well, their running back just went down, Epstein, with an injury, and he's out.
Wait, he did?
Epstein is
not Reggie Corbin, though.
It's not Reggie Corbin. Reggie Corbin averaged 20 yards per carry against us. So I'm going. Brandon Peters put on a show. So I'm a little bit concerned. Not gonna lie, just a little bit.
I don't blame them though for not whipping out the full arsenal during non-conference play. Once we start to play against some Big Ten teams in Game 4s, we'll start whipping everything out so that they can plan for. Well, as PJ say, they can scheme for ghosts because we don't know who. They don't need to know who we're gonna play that day.
Oh my God! I'm sorry. Hold up. Are any of you watching? Never mind.
Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Are we talking Notre Dame, Louisville? Because I think we all got that on right now.
I think we all have that on, and Louisville just got back that fumble. Get them, birds. Anyway. I don't know. It's the games that I hope that they watch to figure out how to contain Jorge. I hope they watch the South Alabama game. Because that defensive coordinator figured out how to shut down Adrian Martinez, and this is basically going to be an oldies version of Adrian Martinez. So hopefully we can do that.
Right.
So
looking at,
Ooh.
Interesting. Oh, Notre Dame. Oh, did lose it?
I think Notre Dame got it back.
Wait, what? Back-to-back fumbles. What is life right now?
What the hell?
This is why we love college football.
This is why we love week 1. The sloppiest, ugliest, but purest
Oh my
football.
God! With his own lineman. Big boys need to get some tackling drills going.
Wow.
Recovered?
Wow. No, Notre Dame.
Oh wow.
I'm upset. That's why.
Wolf the.
Can someone else from? Oh well, no one prepared for Ian Book, so. All right. What do we want to do? Score predictions for this game?
Actually, I want to add something more to my the keys to the game. I did say, offensive line, to help solidify the passing and running game, but that D line, if we can't get to the quarterback, we're not gonna do anything. So, Carter Coughlin, Winston de la Labadiere, do your thing, and the interior, do your thing.
Kamal, please come back and just destroy.
Kamal.
Yeah, for me, it's the guys in the trenches, the D line and O line. Like if they can control the trenches and get in there. Like it doesn't have to be perfect, but just consistent enough that it keeps us in the game. We'll win it and we'll be fine.
The gentleman's name was our D-line coach, who was like Jim Papa something.
Pandagos.
Well, I'm hoping that he showed our D-line every single play from last week so that they can be sufficiently shamed into doing better.
All right. Yeah. So score predictions.
24-17 Golden Gophers.
Uh,
Larranz?
23 Fresno State.
24-21 Gophers on top.
Wait, so I hope these predictions match what we guessed.
Yeah. We all said we were winning.
I didn't.
Larranz changing his mind like the pessimist that he is.
I saw that game and I'm like, I can't. That is not how you go in. That is not how you say. That is not a good omen. Okay, whatever, fine. 30-23 Minnesota. Fresno State gives us 2 pick six in a row, and the last 2 minutes a la Mitch Leitner, and we win because of that. And again, we really shouldn't have won, but we do.
Man, I need to slap you sometime.
Deserve to win this last game. I will never get over that. That was Kent State all over again.
Kent State protocol.
Only at least we were in control for the entire Kent State game. We just couldn't do anything. So, interesting, just randomly before we close, who you got? Colorado or the Big Ten Super Bowl champions, Nebraska?
Colorado.
Who you got, Griff?
I'm going Buffs, baby.
I'm going Nebraska because Buffalo's going to choke. Then who you got? Iowa versus Iowa State.
Man,
Iowa State.
I really want to say Iowa State so bad. Just so we can lose. But Kirk's gonna get it done again.
Kirk, you and I really should have won that game too. That's all I'm saying. You and I fought hard. I respect them. Anyway, yeah, no, I'm gonna take Iowa State in the upset.
Oh,
The score will be 6-3.
Iowa State.
Wait, so are we doing like a Michigan State Nebraska thing where it's just field goals?
It is just. It is no. It will be 1 field goal for Iowa and 3 safeties for Iowa State.
Oh my God.
Because Iowa's left tackle, Larranz Jackson, who's a certified human freak, is gone. So they just hit him in the end zone 3 times, and that's how the game ends.
You're crazy, but I love it.
So, any more hot takes?
Hot takes. Michigan State's defense is still bad. Jalen Hurts is the man. Sorry, Michigan State's offense is still bad. Michigan State's defense is about as petty as I want to be in life. Fun fact, Tulsa had tweeted how they had 2 running backs that were going to rush for 100 yards on Michigan State. Do you know how many yards they rushed against Michigan State, Jason?
I did not follow that. How much did they rush?
-79.
Woofda.
What?
-79.
That is awful.
That is beautiful. That is Big Ten defense open your mouth again, get smacked. So yeah. Hopefully, you know what? We're gonna be Michigan State this weekend. That's what we're gonna do. Everyone, Kenny Willikers, he's just gonna come in maroon and gold. We're gonna be great.
All right.
All right.
Anything else?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Also, Larranz, this is a question. Did the Bears figure out their kicking situation yet?
You know what? You need to stop.
Hey, the Vikings are having issues too. I just want to know.
Everything
never
was
seen-
everything
I've
was
never
good.
seen a team so obsessed with making the perfect special teams unit.
Do you know that Alabama drafted a 5-star kicker this last year? Are you aware that they drafted, not drafted, they recruited a 5-star kicker?
I think ours was a 2-star.
Wait, and watch this. And they still missed their first field goal against Duke.
Woofed.
All the talent in the world. I believe Nick Saban sold his soul to have a ridiculous Alabama defense and a prolific offense, and the only thing he had to give up was kicking field goals and extra points. So yes, we're gonna be great. We're gonna be great. We're gonna be great.
All right.
Oh, and what did Wyatt predict, by the way?
Wyatt says, for this game, I think victory by 3. Let me double check that.
That's the spread, isn't it?
Yeah, 3.5.
Yeah, he says, well, give me Fresno by 3.
What was the over/under? I think Larranz was the only one.
3.5.
Over. No, the over/under.
Over/under? I'm not sure.
I believe both defenses will, I don't know, take a step back for this game.
Okay.
Man, Brian Kelly really not trying to talk to that sideline reporter.
No.
Yee.
Yee. All right.
All right.
Wrap up?
Yep.
All right. Well, fans, thank you for joining us for this episode of Open Podcast to preview the Fresno State game. So, again, my name is Jason.
I'm Griffin, and I hope to see that dove in person.
I'm Larranz, and I really hope that, well, we don't die against Fresno. That would suck.
Well, we'll have a bye week the week after with Georgia Southern.
See, you say that, and then Georgia Southern runs for 200 on us. So
Hey, their quarterback was trying to claim cocaine was bird poop.
all right. Well, I will talk to you all at some point after we inevitably almost lose to Fresno State. But trust me, if Colorado beats Nebraska, I will be in so much of a better. If Colorado beats Nebraska, I don't even care if we lose to Fresno State.
As long as they get to shut up Nebraska.
As long as, like, I will shut up my hype, so long as they shut up their hype. Because it's gotten out of hand.
And with that, we end.
So row the boat, Skyma, go Gophers, and see you guys next time.
Kent State.